Welcome in. We are doing another just little chill sit down video. I'm trying to incorporate more of these because I feel like oh, why is this wet? Oh my god, no, what is it? Unclear. There is a wet spot. It's probably Luda. She probably drooled on it. It doesn't smell bad, so I'm gonna ignore it. What was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna try and incorporate more like chill sit down videos because sometimes we just need to chill out. You know, we don't need to be go, go, go all the time. Okay. So today we're doing the opposite of my last sit down videos. So I ranked all of my 5 and 6 star reads, however many it was. I think it was like 36 or something crazy. Now I'm ranking 20. I only went to 20 because there were a couple other ones, but they were like little novellas or something. So I didn't really want to count those. I'm ranking my 20 lowest rated books and why I hated them so much. I had a quick disclaimer before you carry on. Obviously, I know books are very subjective. Some of you may really love some of these books. If you're an easily offended person, probably not the video for you. I'm just a very aggressive person, if you don't know that already. And I also use the word hate a lot. So just like if it feels like something that is gonna piss you off, you may not want to watch it. It is essentially one long video of me complaining about books. So if that doesn't seem like your type of vibe, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just like warning you. I do get very aggressively passionate about how much I dislike something, and I do use the word hate like many, many times. Is it dramatic? Yes, I'm a dramatic person. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just who I am. Also, I realized after I've edited it that I sometimes explain why I hate it because of the ending of the book. So if there's a book that you have not read and don't really want to know, you may just want to like skip ahead because there's a good chance that I did spoil the ending. So there are a couple of kind of popular books towards the end and I didn't even think about them being spoiled, but I do pretty much spoil why I hate some of them because of the end. So it's just a problematic video all around, but let's get into it. This is gonna be hard, I think. I'm gonna try and get like the easier ones out of the way, but there are some that may shock you. There are some kind of popular books in here and I am pretty passionate about why I hate all of these books. But first, I wanted to update you guys. If you saw a while ago, like a month ago, I had talked about Lumo, the de-bloat supplement that I was going to start taking. I've been taking it for a full month now and I feel like I can finally like talk on it and give you the scoop. She's amazing. She works absolute wonders. I have yet to have like a tummy ache from being overly full. She has not made me feel gross or bloated after I start eating. I'm like upset. My bottle's going to be empty soon. I look forward to taking this before my meals because I know that I'm now not going to have a tummy ache. But if you did miss it, Lumo dropped a supplement that is specifically for gut health. So it alleviates gas and bloating, supports digestive health, provides anti-inflammatory properties, and made with completely natural ingredients. So she is fully vegetarian and vegan for my vegan girlies out there. All you do is take 2 capsules a day, 30 minutes before 2 of your meals, and it works within 30 minutes. And it's amazing. Literally couldn't ask for anything better. So if you want to go try out Lumo, it is going to be in the link in the description below. And I cannot say enough good things about it. So thank you so much, Lumo. Go try out your own. Okay, I think I'm ready. We are ready to rank. We are ready to rank. I also don't own all of these. Some of these are on my Kindle. I think I'm gonna grab the more obscure ones, or not like obscure, but the ones that like you wouldn't be as shocked that they're lower rated. This one, I genuinely don't know if I've never heard anyone talk about this book ever, and I don't know why I haven't. I think this was like one of the first books I read of 2022, called The Patient by Jasper Dewitt. Actually, I honestly don't even think I should say the authors because I'm just gonna shit on them right now. This was one of the dumbest. I read it directly after The Silent Patient thinking, okay, similar vibe. I like the insane asylum vibe. It's gonna be great. It's basically this insane asylum that has one really dangerous person in it. And so I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna find out what's wrong with him. We get to the very end. It's creepy the whole way. It's doing great. We get to the very end. He's a monster. He turns into a monster in the corner of a room, like takes up the room. I was like, what the fuck did I just read? What the fuck was that? So she got a 2-star, but right now she's gonna go at number 1. I'm gonna rank them the same way that I ranked my 5 stars, where I'm just gonna put them like the only way I know how to do it is I go book by book, and it's either I hate it more or I hate it less, and that's how I like go number wise. So Patient is at number 1 right now. I also think I'm gonna do number 20 is like not my, like it's gonna go bad to terrible. Like number 1 is my absolute least favorite book that I've ever read. All right, next Next is The Lying Game. This was the most boring book. Actually, there's one more that's way more boring. One of the most boring books I have ever read. There was absolutely zero plot that kept me interested whatsoever. And then it was one of those I found out quickly how much I hate these types of books where it doesn't give you an ending. The ending is up in the air. They leave you off with like a quote, like leaving you unknowing. And you're like, well, what? Why did I read this entire book just to not actually get an answer? Like, The Lying Game itself was not the plot of the book. They just mentioned how they had this lying game. Why call it The Lying Game? Why call it that? The Lying Game specifically, if that's not even really in the book more than a couple pages. And then they just lie the whole time. And then the main character has a baby with her the whole time who should not be a mother. If she puts her baby in the scenarios that she was putting her in this book. And then the very end, they were like, well, good thing we're good liars. And then you don't know how it actually ends. Because she's like, we were lying the whole time. Hell no. The most frustrating book ever. Way more than The Patient. So The Patient can go to number 2. This was one of those where I was listening to it on like 2.8 speed because I just needed to be done with it. I was so pissed off. Next is The Fear by Natasha Preston. I don't know how this woman has so many books. She has so many, all with the same vibe like this. It's like The Lake, The Fear, I don't know, other shit like that, The Cabin. This was my first Natasha Preston book and my last. I will never read another one of hers. I don't care what or how many people say it's good. It's YA, I get that. So I also have realized I fucking hate YA thriller and mystery and stuff because it does not do anything for me. It literally follows this guy, or I guess you don't know if it's guy yet. It follows a school who the killer kills people based on their biggest fear that they're posting about on social media. I guess it was like a trend. I honestly don't remember all of them. It was like a trend to repost what their greatest fear was going around the school, like on Instagram or something stupid. And the serial killer was killing people based on their biggest fears. Sounds like decent. You'd be like, okay, kind of cool. The social media thing, I can't get behind. I hate social media in books. It just takes me out of the story. And then the end, the only person that I liked was whoever the killer was. That was it. But it is not worse than The Lying Game, I can tell you that. In The Patient, at least I was interested up until the end. So it's gonna go below The Patient. Nope, it's gonna go above The Patient. I have to keep in mind that it's going in like opposite order. So The Fears, oh, I need to be screen recording this. I forgot that. Let me put that in there. So we are doing this the exact same way. Lying Game, Fear, Patient. Got it. And that got a 1.5. I forgot The Lying Game got a 1 star and The Fear got 1.5. Next is Cabin at the End of the World. A lot of potential, okay? I will just go ahead and say it. This is one of the books that doesn't give you an end. Hate that. The book versus the movie, because the movie came out and it had like Drax in it. It had Ron Weasley. It had Jonathan Groff. Like so many people that I really liked. And didn't hate the movie. But again, like it followed this story. So basically, these people in a cabin get this gay couple and their adopted daughter are in this cabin. They get approached by these people with all these really scary weapons and shit, and they're coming in saying you need to pick one of you is gonna die or the entire world is gonna blow up and end. So they're like freaking out because they are armed to the max, like with the scariest weapons you can imagine. And when they don't pick someone, they have run out of time for like round 1, I guess, and they have to kill off one of their own people that came. So they like brutally murder one of their own people, and like one of the stages of the world ending starts happening. So they're like, oh my god, is this real? And just all this shit happens. It's very gory. But then you get to the end of the book and this terrible storm was happening and they're trying to get out and like run away from what they think is going to be the end of the world. But then it just kind of ends and you're like, okay, well, did the world end? Like, is that it? So it just is frustrating. I hate books like that. Give me a fucking end. You're gonna take all that time to put your heart and soul into a book and not give us an end? For what reason? What is the reasoning behind that? I don't understand. I will never understand. And this got a 2 star for me because like the concept was cool and I enjoyed it. I was so pissed. Did not understand the point of leaving us on a cliffhanger. So does it go above The Patient? I think is where I'm at. No, I'm gonna put it at number 4. I think it's my least favorite so far because I did like the story and the movie was actually decent, so I didn't mind it, but would never read again. Was so pissed. Next, we have Little Paranoias. This isn't so much as I didn't like this book. It was just like this teeny tiny book has, let me see, 20. This tiny book has 20 stories in it. Less than 150 pages. There's 140 pages, and there's 20 stories in this. Just like, I couldn't really, that's no time to like connect to a story. A lot of these are two pages, and it's kind of just like setting you up in one single scene and then like wowing you. And you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna move on now. There were a couple that I can remember pretty well because they were like 5 pages as opposed to 1 or 2. But there wasn't enough to make me like it more than a 2-star. But I enjoyed the read itself and I wasn't left angry, so it's gonna go at number 5. Next, this might be controversial for those who have read it, but Tenders the Flesh. This was the like cannibalist horror book that took over TikTok a really long time ago. I was so beyond bored. I was never like freaked out. I don't know. It just like didn't affect me the way that it affected other people, I guess. I thought the concept was interesting because it like starts out, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but all of the animals that people eat became poisonous or something like that. So they couldn't eat animals anymore and there was no meat to be eaten. So instead of the entire world going vegetarian or vegan, they started eating people. No! Someone give me a new ring light. I'm over it. I'm so over it. I'll be back. I just know this isn't gonna last that long. Let me set back up. The entire world went to cannibalism, and we went through like the process of basically what happens to like cows and stuff, these meat factories, but it was humans instead. So we got to see like them killing humans for their meat. And it literally was so realistic that it just felt like I was reading a textbook, and I'm so like desensitized by stuff like this that it just didn't freak me out, or like, I don't know, it didn't bother me. As weird as that sounds, but like I know it's fake, and he ends up like having a connection with one and taking her home and like getting her pregnant. So that was about it. It was just boring was my main thing, but I think I like it less than Cabin at the End of the World. So I'm gonna put it at number 4 below The Patient. I think I'm gonna do the ones that I don't own next. We're gonna do, okay, I'll get these 2 out of the way. Squeak and Squeal. They were both 2 stars. They were both little novellas. Basically, I'm gonna like put them together because it's the Squeakiverse, if you will. They are a little teeny tiny novella about 2 balloon animals who can turn into humans because they're cursed. They like have sex as balloon animals. And I don't really need to go into any more than that. That's about it. They like literally blow up their balloon penis and have sex as humans. As humans, their penises are balloon animals. So that's all I'm gonna say. I had a great time reading it because of how ridiculous it was, but I can't rate them any higher than 2 stars. So they did make the list for the least rated books. But I'm gonna put them below, I guess above Cabin at the End of the World, but below Tenders the Flesh because I did like them more than Tenders the Flesh. And we're gonna do Squeal. So we're gonna do Squeal. The second one, okay, can I fucking type? The second one is worse than the first one. Shocker. But I mean, there wasn't a need for a second one. Okay, and then we have The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. This was a shock to me because I love Lynn Painter. It just was like the most boring non-plot of a book that you could imagine. It was this boy and girl who like very clearly were into each other. Like I don't know why they wouldn't have been into each other, but they were working together to like who could find love quicker, and they would go on dates, and then after their dates they would meet up essentially for their own date to discuss the dates. It just was like so dumb. I hated both of the characters. It was not for me. Where does that need to go is the problem. I think it's gonna go I hate to say it, I'm gonna put Squeak and Squeal above it as like less hated because I could not stand listening to that book. It was a 2-star. Okay, next book that I don't own is Set the Record Straight. It was like a lesbian Christmas book. Very short. I honestly don't know if it was a little novella or not. I listened to it. It was supposed to be like this angsty lesbian. I don't even know how to explain it, but like this one girl was very much a lesbian. She was out. I believe it was fake dating. Yes, they were supposed to be fake dating because her boss like only hires like the liberal gay community, and she was scared her boss was gonna figure out that she was straight, so she starts fake dating her gay best friend, and they were like instantly just not fake. The second that they started like holding hands or touching or something in front of her boss, she was like, oh, I kind of like this, and then they like went back to her apartment and basically had sex. I was like, Where was the angst? Where was the buildup? Like, it was just nowhere to be seen. So it got 2 stars. It was just like there was nothing there. I didn't have fun at all, actually. I wanted it to be way more of a slow burn. Just anything more than 2 chapters in. So that's gonna go, I definitely liked it more than The Love Wager. And I would say more than Squeak and Squeal. So I'm gonna put it below Squeak and above Cabin in the End of the World. Next, I read The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. I was gonna wait to see if I was gonna like it before I bought it. Turns out, did not like it at all. It started off strong. It started off with single dad who like finds out he's a dad really late into this girl's life. Like, the mother dies and he finds out, I think after she dies, like, it was a random one night stand. So he has to move to take care of this child into this small dream harbor, you know, the series. He has to move into this small little town. And this Miss Girl, our main character, is, I guess, I honestly don't even remember the beginning or why she's looking for a job, but she's looking for a job. Basically, it's a single dad nanny trope, so she ends up nannying for them. Shocker, falls in love. I don't know. They just like gave me weird vibes from the start. There was a lot of potential and nothing lived up to what I wanted it to be. And there were many things I did not like about it, but I really don't want to get into it. It just wasn't. She's going too far into this series. We needed to call it quits with the Christmas tree one. We did not have to go into the strawberry one. And there's gonna be another one. Like, are you kidding me? Can we take a break? So, Strawberry Patch Pancake House is gonna go, I'm gonna say below Set the Record Straight. Because there were parts I liked, just not enough to not make this list. And above Cabin in the End of the World. Okay, I think that's all the ones that I don't own. Next, I don't have the book with me, I just have the cover. Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. What a disappointment. Riley Sager is one of my favorite all-time thriller authors. I have read his entire backlist. This came out, his newest release. I was so excited. I was so pumped. It followed 2 little boys they were camping in their front yard, and one of them gets literally taken in the middle of the night by a stranger's never seen again. Great concept. We jump ahead to the other little boy is now like a grown man, 40 something. He's moved back and is like seeing things that he thinks might be his friend in like a ghost form. And we just like are going back and forth between the day before he was taken and now him trying to figure it out. And now he has like a flirty thing going on with the neighbor, of course. And we spend so much time talking about this like asylum looking place that's basically in their backyard that they spent a bunch of time at. We were like, well, it has to be something weird with that. And now that he's like kind of being seen as a ghost, it's got to be something weird with that. And it just was the most anticlimactic end. I was so bored. I didn't care about a single thing that happened. I was so incredibly bored. What did I give it? A 1 star? I gave it a 1.5. Of Riley Sager. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. We're back in the boring aspect. So where am I going with that? It's got to go above The Love Wager because they just angered me. This one was boring. But Tender's the Flesh. I think I'm going to go below Tender's the Flesh and above The Love Wager. We'll see. Next, we have Hide by Kirsten White. This was a short little horror book that took me 3 months to read. 3 fucking months. There was a chapter in here. I am not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I have remembered because it stuck with me. It was 80 pages long. One chapter was 80 pages long. Why was the editor not like, hey, babe, let's just like cut it in 4s? That was just ridiculous. And then it goes from so many different POVs, but she wouldn't tell you when we were switching POVs. It would switch paragraph to paragraph to different POVs of all these different people. They entered into this basically giant hide and seek contest in a theme park. Sounds really fun, right? You win or you die, basically. But they didn't know that they would die. They just thought that they would get eliminated if they were found out by the people who were running it. No, if you get caught, you die by this. They don't know yet. They're like, why are these people disappearing and why is there blood in some of these places? So then they start freaking out thinking, okay, this may be a little more serious than we originally thought. We find out it's a monster. It is a cult book where they release this monster to these people like every 50 years or something like that. And the monster has to eat these people in order for like this cult to be fine. It just, no, I hate cult books. They're not my thing. It was stupid. A monster. This could have been such a cool idea. Such a cool idea, but it was a fucking monster. And the POV switching and the chapters being 80 pages. No, absolutely not. So it's gonna go to one of the highest ones. I cannot stand this book. It's gonna go, I think, right below The Lying Game. So it's gonna be number 2. Hated her. And then we're getting into the more popular books. Ruthless Vows. One of the most boring and anticlimactic ends to a duology I could have ever imagined. I liked Divine Rivals a lot. It was like a 4 or something, 4.25. This got a 2-star. The first, like, I would say 100 pages, I was into it. It was fine. And then the rest of the book did not care about a single thing that was happening. The end of, like, how the war ended between these gods, it was, like, the most obvious end to... I was just, like, reading the scene. I'm like, okay, well, she needs to do this. Like, just hurry up and do it because I know you're about to do it and you're gonna save the day. So, like, just fucking do it. And we, like, dragged it out as long as possible, trying to make it seem like it was high stakes and, like, people were gonna die. Oh my god, I did not care. I did not care about anything. I was so fucking tired of this book. And it's such a shame because it's pretty and I like the first one. No. But I wouldn't say it's like one of my least favorite. It was just boring and obvious what was gonna happen. So I think it is gonna go towards the end of the list. I think it's gonna go below Set the Record Straight and above Strawberry Pancake House because I think I like that one a little bit more. Ugh. The Inheritance Games. I just fucking read this. I don't know what y'all are liking this book for. What do you mean? There's like 4 books in this series. What do you mean? Okay. The front says she came from nothing. They have everything. Let the games begin. If you haven't read this book, let me just tell you, she is a random ass poor girl who gets randomly put in this man's will. And you're like, for what? Like this billionaire's will. So she has to go and be at this like will hearing, whatever. And he has all these grandkids and everything. And in the will, it's like, y'all get nothing. This random ass girl is getting my entire inheritance. And so the only thing, it says the inheritance games. The only thing that she has to do is stay in that house for a year. I'm not really sure what games we're talking about. I thought it was going to be like they have to do all these like sketchy things or maybe the house was haunted, something like that. No. She just has to like survive in the house. Nothing's happening. It's just, and there's a love triangle with the brothers. For what reason, babe? You don't need to fall in love with the brothers that you're staying with. And like the end, I was like, okay. I don't care why she's in the will. I don't care. I have zero want to find out why she's getting this money and they aren't. I just don't care at all. It was borderline insufferable to read. This was another audiobook that I was listening to on YouTube, so I couldn't go any faster than 2 times speed. Insufferable. In the end, didn't even make it worth it. And there's another one, and it tried to leave like off on a cliffhanger and like it shocked you. Don't care. Not reading it. Absolutely not reading the next one. I even own the 3rd one because I found it at Julia's. I will never be cracking that open. No. I don't even know what the second one's called. I actually kind of want to know. The Hawthorne Legacy is next. A deadly game? I'm fucking sure. Yeah, I'm sure it's deadly. Okay, so this is going in one of the top ones for being the most boring. It was way more boring than Middle of the Night. Way more boring than Tender as the Flesh. Was it worse than The Patient? I would say yes. The Patient, I would at least reread. You could not pay me US dollars to reread that book, to sit down and reread it. It was like, it was so boring, it gave me a literal headache. Okay, next. Controversial. Lightlark. What the fuck is this book? I am so sorry, Alex Astor. I'm sure you're a great girl. I'm over her social media presence. I really am. This is just the hateful side of me coming out. I think I feel bad. She's a real person, so I feel bad. I'm not gonna go as hard as I want to right now. I'm just tired of her social media presence. I get it. Promote your book, girl. I get it. But no, it's not for me. And I like almost want to block her because I'm so tired of seeing her fucking videos explaining the series. Anyways, that is my personal apology to Alex Astor. Just the book. I'm not gonna hold back on the book because I don't feel as bad. First of all, I remember having to highlight one of these pages. Oh, like the very beginning. I personally cannot stand a book where I need to constantly flip back to the front to refer to things just to know what they are. The Lightlark Curses and Powers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different beings, and they all have a different curse and they all have different powers. So already that's 12 things I need to remember / refer back to every single time they're talked about. Already annoyed. It was giving, this is one of those fantasy books where I don't know why fantasy authors feel the need to do this. They think that since it's a fake book, fake world, fake like rules, that they can create a problem by just making up another rule. Everything will be going great and they're like, oh, by the way, you can't win that way because of this random rule that you didn't know about. I'm like, well, where the fuck did that come from? Like, why are we just throwing shit in to cause problems? I'm stuttering because I hate this book so much. She does that so many times where she just will throw in random shit just to cause a problem. There was a love triangle that I did not know it was a love triangle until she like made it blatantly obvious that she was choosing the other one. I was like, when was this a love triangle? I thought the other main character was like 600 something years old because he's a king of something. I'm like, you mean to tell me he was young and beautiful the whole time? Did I miss that description of him? You would think the main male character, who's like the dark shadow daddy type character that she like tried to do, the shadow daddy character, you would think it was just gonna be him because there was banter, there was a little bit of chemistry, but for some reason it's the other guy. I'm like, what are we talking about? When did he come in? When did he come in? They were partners for this thing and he supposedly hated her the whole time, or like we were scared of him. And you mean to tell me there was chemistry there? How did I miss the chemistry? I don't usually miss chemistry. I can pick up on the chemistry pretty quickly, but I missed all of the chemistry to the point where I didn't even know he was a contender to make it a love triangle. I didn't even know there was a love triangle going on until she picked him. What do you mean? How do you make me miss a love connection? And then the whole point of the book is to find an egg. What? Why? We made this whole games. I don't remember what it's called. We're all up against each other because we get once every 100 years we get the chance to do this, but we're making it into a game. So we're all gonna fight for our lives for this one thing, even though we only get the chance to find this one thing once every 100 years. Here's an idea. We'll figure out who dies later. Let's all just do this task first and find it while we can. Let's find it before the island disappears again. Why would we not make that top priority? And then just whoever finds it first can pick who dies. I just like, no. Hated this fucking book. So it's going. Where's it going? I think it has to go below the line game for number 2. I could not get behind it. I hated it, and will not be reading any of her other books ever. Wreck the Halls. Let me calm down. I got very heated on that one. This one isn't as much like I'm gonna get heated. It was just one of the dumbest books I've ever read. It's a Christmas book. You can't deny it's a Christmas book. Nothing about it is Christmassy. Nothing at all. There's no Christmas elements, and I'm pretty sure it takes place in Los Angeles, so it's like hot the whole time. I might be making that up. But regardless, these two people are like the kids of, it's like a famous rock band. Their moms are in the rock band, and so they're the kids of the famous rock band, and they meet at like 14 or something, and it's just love at first sight. Even though she makes sure to say that she's a dorky 14-year-old with like braces and acne, and he's like this super hot stud at 14, but it was just love at first sight for him. He just knew she was the one after one encounter together at like an interview or something. And then it cuts to his 30th birthday, and he's sitting outside of the restaurant at his 30th birthday. This isn't even the worst part. It actually does get worse. Thinking about her wishing she was there. Huh? 16 years go by and you haven't thought to maybe reach out to her if you're that enamored by her? Because their mother's band like broke up or whatever, and they don't speak to each other anymore, so like they never got in contact. You're a grown man. If you're really that in love with her, babe, you could have reached out at like 21, 22. Like what? And then, not even the worst part, they eventually end up getting together because I think they're like trying to get the band back together or something stupid. They hook up. He's super into edging. Go for it. If that's what you're into, go for it. But he's into edging because he thinks he had such a privileged life that he is not allowed to finish. Where? You're not giving yourself... That's literally insane behavior. That's therapy. You need to go work on yourself. You think you cannot orgasm because you had a privileged childhood? What? The smut was so cringy. I mean, it was Tessa Bailey, so I'm not shocked. I don't read Tessa Bailey anymore because I can't handle the smut. It's so cringy. But that whole book was just... I'm gonna lose it. All right, I'm gonna rank this and then I'll be back when my light stops overheating. But let's see. This was more of just like a gross, cringy book that was frustrating. So I liked it better than Inheritance Games, better than The Patient. I think I'm gonna put it there at number 7. So I liked it better than The Patient, but not more than Tender is the Flesh. All right, I'll be back once again because my equipment sucks. We're back. Not that it was long for y'all, but it was long for me. We're almost done. We only have 3 left. My last 3. Why do I only have 2? Oh, one of them was so deep in my bookshelves that I didn't want to get it out. But we have Call It What You Want. Arguably one of my least favorite books ever. It is my only DNF I've ever had because it was too painful to read and in like a not fun way. It was reading through a situationship of this girl getting treated like shit in college, and then I read the last chapter and it doesn't have a happy ending. So I just was like, why would I put myself through the trauma when I have lived this book. I don't need to do it again for like no happy outcome. I was just like, that's just such a waste of my time. Such a waste of my time. Cute book, giving Taylor Swift, so I was excited about it, but no, it just hurt for no reason. And like made me feel icky and like stupid. Reading it from an outside perspective, you're like, ugh, you're so stupid. Me, like, you're so stupid. Like, literally grow up. So wasn't gonna happen. I feel like it has to go pretty high considering I didn't read the whole thing. I would say I probably read like 35% of it. I'm gonna put it below Light Lark just because I still fucking hate Light Lark. Last physical book that I own. Ooh, very questionable. Once Upon a Broken Heart. I'm so sorry. Before I get into it, I loved the last one. What was it called? A Curse for True Love. Loved that book. So don't yell at me too hard. It wasn't necessarily the people. I liked the people, and I like Jax, liked Evangeline, liked. That wasn't the problem I had. The writing, I could not fucking stand. She talks in her books like we are the dumbest creatures to be reading her books. I did not need to be talked through and walked through holding my hand every single thought that Evangeline had. I was over it. Like, she would literally talk through one idea for a page and a half. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna rip the fucking book in half. And then we had the potential of 5 different men that could have been the love interest at any point, and I would have gone with it because why? There was Luke, there was Apollo, there was Jax, there was Chaos, there was another one too. I don't even remember who it was. There was just absolutely no reason for the plot to have this many plot points in a little YA book. We went from one plot to the next without fixing the problem from the first plot. We were 4 plots deep, still wondering what happened in plot number 1. So just like for that, I could not stand it. But it was a more enjoyable read than most of these, so I'm going to put it towards the end. Actually, I think it's going to be last. It just happened to get 2 stars, so it made the list. But it will be number 19. And then last but not least, I'm not digging it out of my bookshelf because I don't want to have to put it back. And if you've watched any of my videos where I've talked about my least favorite books, you probably know what it is, and it's Tell Me Lies. I fucking hate that book with a passion. I hate the show. I don't understand how anyone likes anything to do with that fucking book. The show, maybe I can see it a little more, even though I hate the main actor. I'm not gonna be rude because he's a real person. So let me roll it back. The book talked about eating disorders the entire time. They talked about how she was too fat, even though she didn't eat anything. It talked about how he was too chubby, and she wanted to remind us constantly that he was chubby. And the guy thought she was way too gross and skinny, but she thought she was too fat. He literally called her like gross and skinny. I was like, but you want her. And that's how you think about the girls that you want. And then he would get her. It was all about the chase for him. He just wanted the chase. He would get her and then cheat on her and then make her feel like shit by like gaslighting her into thinking that he wants her. It was one of the most annoying, harmful, piece of shit books I've ever read in my entire life for a stupid, good for nothing plot. It was the same as Call It What You Want. There was no happy ending, didn't enjoy anything, so it actually it's gonna go number 1 because of how pissed I am right now. It's staying at number 1, which is crazy, but it is staying. I just fucking hate that book. I think it's so harmful. The amount of like body that we are talking about, boy and girl bodies that we are talking about in that book, way too fucking often, on top of situationship crap, on top of gaslighting and like having sex for no fucking reason all the time. the cheating, the lying. Stupid. Hated it. Anyways, it was like past the point of toxic. Like Magnolia Parks is toxic, and I love Magnolia Parks. This is not on the same level as Magnolia Parks at all. Now I'm done. I got it done. We got 1 through 20, and I'm gonna go through them real quick from like my most readable least favorite to my absolute least favorite. So we have Once Upon a Broken Heart at number 20. It was readable. People love it. It's fine. I liked the series overall. I would not read it again. And then we have Little Paranoias at 19. Whatever. Not enough substance to really judge. 18, hated because of the ending. Open ending book. 17, oh, I didn't even say Cabin at the End of the World. Hated because an open-ended end of the book. 17, Strawberry Pancake House. Had potential, super boring, didn't like the characters. 16, Ruthless Vows. Boring. 15, Set the Record Straight. Not enough of a slow burn. Way too quick into the lesbian love. 14, Squeak, and 13, Squeal. Is what it is. They honestly should be in their own category. That was just something crazy. 12, The Love Wager. Despicable characters, didn't care. 11, boring. Oh my god, why am I not saying them? 11, Middle of the Night. Boring beyond imagination. 10, Tenders the Flesh. Felt like a textbook. 9, Wreck the Halls. Way too icky. 8, The Patient. Stupid monster ending. 7, The Inheritance Games. So boring. 6, The Fear. Too childish and don't like social media and books. 5, Hide. Monster ending. 4, Call It What You Want. Disrespectful PTSD trauma book. 3, Lightlark. The dumbest book ever. 2, The Lying Game. Boring beyond belief. And 1, Tell Me Lies, the most harmful book I've ever read in my life. That's my top 20 of least favorite books I've ever read. So I know there's a couple on here that people have rated 5 stars. I know it. But to each their own. If you liked it, good for you. I wish I liked them better, but I sadly don't. That's it for talking shit on books. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.